They support the nuclear deal, which you support as well.
100% support the nuclear deal.
So you support negotiating with a nation that says "Mergulha America," death upon America. You're comfortable negotiating with a country that hates us.
I'm sorry, who do we negotiate? We only negotiate with countries that love us? Is that how negotiations work? Have you heard of the phrase diplomacy?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I stumbled across this debate between PBD and Reza Aslan about Iran. And oh boy, it's something else. PBD's doing that thing again where he tries to force people into these weird binary choices, then gets all worked up when they won't bite. You know how he does that whole put words in your mouth routine? Yeah, it's all over this one. Anyway, let me know where you're watching from in the comments. Hit that like button if you're here for the political breakdowns, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's jump right into this mess.
Diplomacy.
There is no negotiation with a country that actually agrees with you.
But
we negotiate with countries that disagree with us.
I totally get that. But for the most part, the countries we negotiate with that disagree with us, they don't say death upon Americans. Iran says death upon Americans, the top of the Iran. This is not even the people in the streets.
Who gives a fuck? So what?
So give $150 billion? That's a valid concern. That's a valid question.
First of all, it's their money that we are releasing in exchange for removing nuclear weapons from Iran. How do you suggest we remove nuclear weapons from Iran, Patrick?
Okay, I have ideas for you.
I
can give it to you. Not to remove nuclear weapons. First of all, do you believe no matter whether we give them the money or not, they're not going to continue working on nuclear weapons?
They literally didn't. But, nope. We're not going to move past this until we establish the facts. The JCPOA, which was negotiated by the United States, Russia, China, the Security Council, and Germany, which is extraordinary. The idea that those 5 countries came together, and the European Union, and agreed on anything, let alone agreed on this absolutely remarkable deal under the Obama administration to remove all the enriched uranium out of Iran. There is zero doubt that that worked. Zero. The IAEA came out in no uncertain terms and said, within 12 months of that deal being put in place, Iran no longer had the enriched uranium to create a nuclear bomb. Within 12 months...
You have to be naive to believe that.
Okay.
You have to be,
right.
but fair enough. Let's buy into the naivete and move forward.
Okay,
let's just say you're right. Let's say you're right.
Let's not believe the people on the ground who are actually monitoring the nuclear plants.
To believe somebody that believes in the values that they do, yes, I don't believe that. But let me go to the next one and ask you the question. Let me go to the next one and ask you the question.
What's the alternative?
Let me go back to the next one and ask you the question. Okay. Your father was right about Khomeini. Fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your father was right. So do you think Iran, and I know this is going to be hard for you to answer this question, don't go Mossadegh. I'm purely talking Shah and the advancements we were making under Shah versus what happened to Iran under Khomeini, okay? If we had a choice between the two, this is not you can't say, well, I would choose this. I wouldn't choose either. If you had a choice between how Iran was during Shah's era versus Khomeini, which would you choose?
Neither.
I knew you were going to say that, but you can't say neither.
Fuck that.
You cannot say neither. How do you mean neither? How can you say neither? Be honest. I'm being serious with you.
You may literally have this idea about the Shah's age that is in your imagination.
I do not have an idea about Shah's age.
You don't remember the thousands of people that he slaughtered on the street, the tens of thousands of people who would disappear into education camps. We replaced one murderous regime with another murderous regime, and it's stupid to say which one would you prefer.
It's naive for you to say what you just said. You said since you've left Iran in 79 till today, Adam asked you a question. When's the last time you visited? You said 2005, before I became famous. You didn't use the word famous, but before I became known in a marketplace. Okay, you haven't gone back since. Under Shah, you could go back. This is not about saying one did it right or one did it wrong.
Is your question which is more beneficial to me or which is better for Iran?
It's by the way, the Shah was more beneficial to the people. You're saying Khomeini is more beneficial to the people.
Fuck no, that's not what I said.
So PBD's getting all worked up here, trying to force Aslan into this weird pick your favorite Iranian dictator game. When Aslan says he wouldn't choose either the Shah or Khomeini, PBD just loses it. You can't say neither, be honest. But here's what's really happening. PBD's putting words in Aslan's mouth that he never said. Aslan never claimed the current regime was better. He literally said, we replaced one murderous regime with another murderous regime. That's pretty clear, right? Then PBD does this thing where he's like, so you're saying the Shah was more beneficial to the people, and Aslan's like, no, that's not what I said. Classic move. Twist someone's words, then argue against the thing they never said. In my view, this is straight out of the playbook we see all the time now. When someone won't give you the soundbite you want, just keep pushing until you can claim they said something they didn't. PBD's basically doing the so you're saying thing, where you rephrase someone's nuanced position into something extreme they never actually said. The personal stuff about not visiting Iran since 2005, that's just deflection. Can't win on the facts about the nuclear deal, so let's make it about whether someone's Iranian enough or whatever. It's weak, honestly. Aslan's sitting there trying to have an actual conversation about complex geopolitics, and PBD's just trying to get him to say dictator good or dictator bad like it's a Twitter poll.
The question I'm asking is,
literally said
what
to
is
you,
more beneficial? You can't say neither, though.
You are telling me which murderous regime would you prefer? The murderous regime of the Shah or the murderous regime of the Ayatollah?
You cannot be that naive, though. You cannot be that naive. Listen, if you take it from that route, the Reza Shah Pahlavi, okay, and Iran, where they were, which, by the way, for me, an imperialist model.
Are you a Pavlovist?
I'm not an imperialist. My model would be more what we have in America. What I'm asking you, a simple question you can't answer. During Khomeini, millions of people died from other countries. Other innocent people died because of Khomeini's policies and his regime. This is not Reza Pahlavi's other people died because of his regime. You can't give that argument.
Okay.
For you to say that I'm going to choose both the same.
If what you want to do is a fun intellectual exercise in which you are saying, gun to my head, I can only pick the murderous regime of the Shah or the murderous regime of the Ayatollahs.
It's too different.
Which one would you want?
You cannot say.
I would say the murderous regime of the Shah.
Okay, so then...
Because you got a gun to my head.
Not because I got a gun to your head. Because logically, it makes sense to say right after Khomeini, you're probably not leaving Iran if Shah was still in Iran. Or not being in Iran. You probably would, and I would probably...
I'd be probably miserable.
I
wouldn't have rights.
I don't think so. I disagree. You would have chosen to leave to another country. You would have chosen to come to...
I think you've got a nostalgia for the days of the Shah.
I don't have a nostalgia.
Me a lot of like Make America Great Again. But no, what you're saying is, can we pursue policies in the United States to help the people of Iran? And have we been? My answer is we have not been. We have not. 40 years of blanket sanctions has not helped the people of Iran. It has only entrenched the government further. And there's reams of academic data that indicates that. The question is, does the, for instance, nuclear deal, the JCPOA in 2012, would that have helped the government or the people? And there is very good, real, meaningful arguments to be made that it would only help the government. I disagree, because there are much better arguments that it would only help people. Why? Goes back to your God, capitalism, the free market. The Iranian people live in an oppressive, murderous, theocratic regime. And as a part of American policy, we have decided that we're going to blanket sanction everyone in the hopes that eventually they'll rise up and take down their government.
No.
4 decades. 4 decades we've been doing that. Now, instead, the argument of the JCPOA was very simple. We get to get rid of Iran's nuclear capabilities without launching a war.
By giving them $150 billion.
Without, again, I want to make sure that you understand that this isn't my 150 million or your 150 million. That's the only reason I said.
It doesn't matter. You're strengthening them.
What you are doing.
You're strengthening their government.
It's not about the money that you give them.
It doesn't
get
to the people.
Liberalization.
You cannot be that naive to think the money goes to the people.
I'm not talking about the money going to the people. What I am talking about is the policies that arise from the JCPOA, which requires the liberalization of Iran's economy. What the Iranian people need.
It's not going to happen.
What the Iranian people need in order to actually succeed in bringing down their government is access to the free market, is access to the rest of the world.
By giving money to the government?
You are conflating two different things.
I'm not.
Listen to me. I'm not saying that the money in exchange for the nuclear weapons is what is going to free Iran. I am saying that the policies pursued by the JCPOA have, on top of it, the goal of economic liberalization in Iran, which is why I argued 10 years ago that Iran should be allowed into the World Trade Organization, because then it would have to actually pursue policies that require economic liberalization.
You can't negotiate with unreasonable people. It's impossible to negotiate with unreasonable people.
Who we read. Do you know how much shit we send to North Korea right now? Do you know how many billions of dollars in aid we send to North Korea? Is there anyone more unreasonable than Kim Jong-un? That's who we negotiate with, is unreasonable people. Because the other option with unreasonable people is you just bomb the shit out of them.
Yo, Aslan just hit PBD with the most brutal reality check, and PBD's brain is literally short-circuiting right now. So PBD's going on about you can't negotiate with unreasonable people, and Aslan's like, wait, hold up. Do you know how much we send to North Korea? Is there anyone more unreasonable than Kim Jong-un? And you can practically hear PBD's argument collapsing in real time. This is hilarious because PBD's whole brand is being this business mastermind who makes deals with everyone, right? But suddenly when it's Iran, negotiation is weakness. Make it make sense. Then Aslan drops this economics lesson on him. The JCPOA isn't about handing cash to mullahs, it's about forcing economic liberalization that gives Iranian people access to global markets. That's literally PBD's favorite capitalism talking point being used against him. And PBD's just sitting there like, but you're strengthening the government. Dude, completely missed the point. In my view, this is what happens when your foreign policy comes from Twitter threads instead of actually understanding how regime change works. The funniest part? PBD probably spent years praising Trump for talking to Rocket Man, but now acting like any diplomacy with Iran is treason. The cognitive dissonance is chef's kiss perfect. Aslan's basically teaching him capitalism 101, and PBD's too triggered to even listen.
Don't put, I know you're a hardcore capitalist. As a capitalist yourself, don't confuse the two, okay, with a Judeo-Christian nation that we're talking about here. I'm not talking about North Korea here. I'm talking specifically to Iran. If you go back and you think about during the Shah era, when that place is safe, everybody around them felt safe. Nobody around Iran feels safe right now.
Nobody in Iran felt safe in the Shah's
Of course
era.
they did. Of course, it's called
Maybe
great power.
you and your family did.
Yours did as well. What are you talking about? Your example is the perfect one. The moment Shah left, your dad as a communist left. What are you talking about?
My father didn't feel safe in
Then why
Iran.
didn't he leave under the Shah? Why did he leave right Khomeini came in? You realize how much hypocrisy there is for that. There's contradiction to that.
But let me. A lot of the things that I understood about you, I never honestly thought that you were going to sit here and actually defend the fucking Shah.
Are you kidding me? You're defending Khomeini. You're defending Iran. You're defending all the people that died.
Have I defended Khomeini?
You chose 50-50.
Hold on. Has anyone here actually heard me
indirectly
defend Khomeini?
you are. Indirectly you are. When I asked you between the Shah and the Khomeini, you said it's neither. What are you talking? You're saying Khomeini and Shah are the same? You have to be naive to say that.
I didn't say they were the same. What I said was,
but your family, to be fair,
they're both murderous regime.
Oh my god, PBD is doing it again. He's literally putting words in Aslan's mouth that he never said. Aslan clearly said, I didn't say they were the same. What I said was both murderous. But PBD's out here claiming Aslan's defending the Shah and defending Iran. Like, where did that even come from? This is PBD's whole playbook right here. When someone gives a nuanced answer, just pretend they said something extreme instead. Aslan refuses to pick between two dictators, and suddenly he's defending both of them? That's not how logic works. And notice how PBD keeps bringing up Aslan's family fleeing under Khomeini, trying to make it personal, instead of addressing the actual argument. That's classic deflection. Can't win on the facts, so let's make it about someone's family history. In my view, this is like asking someone, would you rather be punched or kicked? And when they say neither, you start screaming, oh, so you love violence, it's completely unhinged. Here's a question for you guys. Do you think PBD actually believes his own straw man arguments? Or does he know he's twisting words and just doesn't care? Because this pattern is so consistent with him. Anytime someone won't give him the soundbite he wants, he just makes one up and argues against that instead. What do you think? Is this his actual debate strategy, or is he just that bad at listening? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed watching me break down these debate tactics, smash that like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.